Also have messages. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Uh, what do you think about what was that movie? Oh no. Yeah, it was a movie on Netflix, right? Where this lady, she's a journalist and she writes about her dates in the journal and like they're like really terrible dates. And in the film, she meets this guy, this perfect somebody off of, Tinder like app or whatever. And it's on Netflix. I forget the name of it. But the dude turns out to be completely not who she thought he was. So it's one of those, classic, almost Disney like, maybe not Disney like, not, yeah. We're like, okay, the dude, unattractive or whatever, is super attracted to said chick and he kind of catfished her because she got catfished. So she goes and sees him, doesn't know that she's getting catfished, goes and sees him in like the East Coast side and is so surprised that he's completely not who he is and whatnot. Anyway, I was thinking about what if I did a dating podcast? That'd be kind of cool where I talk about my dates that I don't get.
I mean, like, yeah. You can talk about make-believe dates.
Yeah, that'd be
Make
great.
up
Oh,
things. Yeah.
that's good. I need a writer.
Yeah.
I need a
You
writer.
get, like, just you and someone else come up with the weirdest date you can come up with.
Yeah,
You still think would work.
yeah. That'd be great. That'd be great. You can definitely bring it to my. Yes,
Okay, yeah.
perfect.
Right about there.
Yeah, you have to be uncomfortably close to it.
Okay. I will tenderly
I mean, that's fine.
keep it by my face.
That's fine. I mean, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah. Hello,
Welcome
Mike.
to the podcast. Yeah, I've been recording this whole time, by the way.
Okay, yeah, no, I
Okay.
figured.
I've been trying to do this. Okay, so one of the podcasts I had previously, a guy named Patrick Sawyer, he was telling me that, hey, you should do what Joe Rogan does and just like, not exactly do what Joe Rogan does, but do,
Not don't take horse dewormer.
yeah, no, don't do that. And then zinc, high levels of zinc and be all right. No.
Yeah.
He was saying just go ahead and just start rolling it. I was like, oh, okay. I've never thought about doing it because usually I do like an intro. So other ways, I'll just edit an intro in at the end, at the beginning. A lot of work that is editing an intro in. But anyways, tell the people your name because
All right, I'm Sagar Duvvuri. I from Mumbai originally. I moved to Mississippi when I was like almost 3 years old.
South.
Yeah.
South. Do
great.
they say South? Do you remember if they said South?
Just
with an F?
south.
Okay, you
It's
just
south. I don't know. It's
like how south do you have to be where the TH become an F?
I mean, it just turns into F's in random spots, like spots. That's basically it. It's kind of like everywhere else where it's like some places here you get that hard Midwestern accent.
Oh,
And
like
then, like-
Minnesota or like
Yeah.
Wisconsin?
Well, like even in Michigan, there's some people that just have that hard,
Ukers.
like, yeah.
Yeah. The South Canadians.
Oh yeah, and it's so weird, and it's just like, but yeah, you get like some people like there was a guy in Hattiesburg that I met once at a music festival, and I swear to God, I have no idea what this man said to me a single time he spoke to me. It was like this harsh Cajun mixture thing. I don't know what was going on. I just accepted it. I was like, all right, this is fun. Yeah,
Okay.
it's weird.
All right. So your time in Mississippi in the South.
Yeah.
When did you so you're born in Mumbai, India.
Yeah.
All right. And you moved to America for the American dream as anyone and everyone would want to do.
It's like what immigrants do.
It's what it
you
yeah.
know.
And it's our job as Americans to be mad about it. Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, especially in central Mississippi.
You said
Because like we moved here in like 96.
okay.
And
Prime
so
time.
very, very lax. It was great, the 90s are a fun time, except for
The other part of 90s.
yeah, like most of the 90s. Like the 90s were really fun if you were a white dude.
Yeah. Actually, I think a lot of people say that living as a white man the last past 1900 years, you've been You've been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
probably more than that, because
probably
like,
probably a little more than that. Maybe
yeah,
you could say 2021, 22 years would be
yeah.
a good guesstimate
So
before it was like, all right, you're Greek and I'm Roman, or I'm because there wasn't Italy, no, because you'd be
yeah, you'd be Roman or you'd be some
Turkish, but it wasn't
Turkish.
Turkish at that
I
time.
mean, they were Persians, I guess. Some
Yes,
Persians,
yes,
and then there was
yes,
like the Carthage.
yeah,
It was Carthage. I don't know what you would call them.
sure.
I just remember them because Hannibal was like the coolest goddamn like conqueror or like
Wasn't he like a
warlord.
murderous
He was a
conqueror though?
crazy asshole. I mean, there's no,
Who in
like
Hannibal I
none of
never
these
heard together?
people, none of these people were good people.
No,
Like
no.
they're trying to conquer other people. That doesn't make you a good person, but like he's so fucking ridiculous. Like just the idea that he's just like I'm going to march an entire fucking battalion of elephants through the Italian Alps and it's going to scare the shit out of Rome.
Just like murder a bunch of people.
Yeah,
And
and
then
he lost like maybe most of his elephants. He had like 4 left or something like that when he got done with it because they can't go through mountains, not the Italian Alps.
do you think they knew about their tusk and the value, or like they
I
probably just
mean,
had a bunch of them anyway?
probably.
They probably had a bunch of like
Yeah.
elephants anyway, just breeding like crazy, and then they didn't care. So
Yeah.
maybe Hannibal was onto the whole conservation of animals in a sense. So he was
Not at
able to
all.
no
Definitely
okay.
not. No. No. I don't I'm not a historian. I didn't study
Yeah.
it extensively in school or anything like that. I can tell you 100% not into the conservation of anything, animals included.
He's got his Instagram. He's like, "Hey guys, it's me, Hannibal here." You hear a guy screaming in the background.
Yeah, yeah. What's happening? Oh, an elephant stomping a person to death, and then we're gonna stab the elephant to death.
Remember to like, share, subscribe, smash that bell icon right there above on your tablet. Literally tablets.
Yeah. But I did have a pair of tennis shoes. They were these Adidas tennis shoes
Uh-huh.
that were Hannibal the Conqueror themed, and they were like elephants. They were so cool.
Really?
Fantastic.
Adidas supports Hannibal?
Sports, the Carthage,
The Carthage.
the Carthage. Carthaginians.
Yeah, yeah.
God
Carthaginians.
damn it! I'm never gonna be able to say this word.
Let me see if I can find out what it actually. You don't know how to spell it, do you? Because I don't.
What, Hannibal?
No, Carthage.
Carthage?
Oh, never mind. It
Yeah.
comes up. No, it's in North Carolina.
Oh.
Turns out he was an American.
Different mountains. Holy shit. I mean, I don't think elephants are going to do well in the Smokies either. Like, it's too cold and hot at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Carthage in ancient Rome.
I know Alexander the Great
Oh, yeah, yeah.
obliterated Carthage.
I mean,
And like,
let's not go too hard on Alexander the Great. All right, he was a great man.
I mean, we'll
Not
give it to
because
him.
I share the same
yeah,
name, but
I'm just-
kind of because I share the same name.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. But like, Carthage stopped existing because of him specifically. So it's just like that he ended all of that. He was just like, nope, none of this anymore.
Carthaginian.
Burn everything down and rub salt in the fucking wounds.
Carthaginian.
Carthaginian.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I'm reading.
I think I got it right once.
I think you at least. Well, I can't edit it out because I'm not gonna do all that work. That's
That's fine. I
Yeah.
don't really care. It's mistakes happen. That's life.
it's
And
gonna be.
it's
It's gonna be like you talking, and then it's like gonna go over your Carthaginian.
I mean, you could do that. That would be fun.
That'd be great. I wish I knew how to do that. So, Mississippi,
Yeah.
American Dream. What's it like being Stone Cold Indian in Mississippi?
Weird as
MISSIP.
shit.
Okay.
I mean, really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do they give you lip? Like, well, what are you?
No.
son?"
Well, okay.
Whatever.
So, like I said, we got there in '96.
Yes.
Everything's. I'm not really dealing with a lot. I'm 3 years old. You know.
Oh, okay.
I'm in preschool.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Shit's
I
going
wasn't
fine.
sure if it was like high school level or like.
It's middle school was really the worst. With
Of
it.
course.
Uh,
of freaking
it's
course.
like every insecurity, every problem anyone has in their life, it's because of something that happened in middle school.
Yes.
Like I'm always gonna think I'm chubby because of middle school.
It was Susie Carmichael in the 6th grade. She looked at me weird and punched me. I don't know why. And that'll be like 18 years later, you're still suffering from like something that Susie Carmichael did.
Oh yeah, you'll be on Tinder and you'll see some girl named Susie and you'll just be like, oh, fuck that. No, absolutely not.
Left.
No.
In fact, you just take your phone and you just throw it to your left.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, yeah. PTSD exists. In a lot of interesting ways. I'm not saying it's hardcore PTSD but like there's definitely that weird kind of like
Yeah.
But no. So yeah,
sorry, I interrupt you a lot.
oh no, you're good. I'm fine. I need to be interrupted, otherwise I'll rant for 20 fucking minutes and it'll just be a nightmare.
All right.
Am I allowed to curse profusely?
It's already too late now. I'm not editing it out. I already told you. I'm not editing it out.
Okay. You could just a series of beeps for a little while.
I'm gonna take the whole audio out and just have a long beep that the whole time.
Yeah. Just transpose it with everything just start out.
Yeah.
No, my parents gave it to me. My parents both swear like crazy and they did it in 3 goddamn languages around me.
3.
My parents are both. My mother's like quadlingual. My dad speaks English, Hindi, and Telugu.
Okay.
And then I only speak. I speak English barely. Sometimes
I speak English
it comes
well.
and goes. It happens. I get through my day, and then like I can understand Hindi fluently, but I can't really speak it fluently.
Really? Okay, because you said you were 3 when you moved to Mississippi. Okay. Did you ever go back to Mumbai?
Yeah, the last time I went back was 2018.
Okay.
It's like my first Christmas back since I was 1 year old.
Wow.
Yeah, Christmas in India is weird.
I'm sure they have plenty of Santa Claus around, right?
It's a strange fucking thing. Let me tell you. It's these like they have a Santa Claus parade.
Wait, I was kidding.
I'm so okay.
What?
This is how it's set up. Where we always stay, it's
Wait, can I pause for a second?
Yeah.
So you're saying India, the same India that was like, nah, Britain, we don't want to like have anything to do with you.
So yeah.
That India is also super okay with a jolly old white man with the hair and everything being paraded down the street.
It's because Catholicism's huge.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that
So,
makes
like,
sense. That makes sense.
my-
And for the viewers, I don't hate white people. I just rip sometimes. Okay, so just chill. Anyways, go ahead.
I feel the same way. I'm like, but still, just like, why would you get mad about these jokes?
They're really funny jokes. If you can look past what you think they could be, they're really funny jokes.
I mean, pay attention to what they are, though.
Don't look too deep, but pay attention.
But yeah, so like,
Yeah, Santa Claus parade.
my dad's family's apartment, or both my parents live basically on the same street. Like, there's a single apartment building between my mom's family's apartment where they grew up and where my dad grew up.
Okay.
And it's this little part of Mumbai called Kalina.
Okay.
And it's like a tiny little New Orleans.
Huh.
It's just full of drunks. It's haunted.
I was gonna go with the festival side of things, but
I mean, it's there. We're
Yeah,
getting
we can
there.
go
We're getting there. It's going to get weird too, in the same kind of way that New Orleans does somehow.
oh jeez. All right.
But like, so where we are, we're next to this Catholic church that when we were there in 2018 was celebrating its 400th anniversary.
Wow.
And I was just like, that church is older than the country we moved to. That's insane.
It's
like-
been there since. Oh my god. Jeez.
So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's weird.
Okay.
But yeah, we're there, and then like Christmas Day or the day before, there's a whole bunch of festivities going on in these churchyards and all that, and like my parents are super used to it.
Okay.
The last time I was around it I was a year old, so I have no idea what's happening.
No, you didn't have like a savant, type of syndrome where you just remember everything.
Only the times I got beat. My parents never beat me when I was that young.
Okay. All
No.
right, getting into some parental drama. All right, here we go.
No, my
Speaking of
parents.
PTSD.
Yeah, no, it's there's a lot of weird shit that happens when you have very Indian parents who are in their like early to late 20s, you know. Well, okay, so my mom was 27
Hmm.
when we moved here. My dad was 31. So it was like that's my fucking age, and
Yeah.
they have a almost 3-year-old son and are now on the other side of the planet from their family.
Wow.
And they have no idea what's happening.
Right.
You know, because like I don't have any idea what's happening, and I can't imagine taking this and then going to another country where I barely speak the language.
Right.
Well, I mean, English is a pretty well-known language in India, so it's
Okay.
like, and my mom was a teacher too, so
Oh, okay.
it was easy to get into it for them, you know. But they didn't know American culture much at all.
It's a very complicated.
Few
myriad of
movies
things.
here and there, but like, you know, you don't really know what's going on, especially when you expect New York and then go to Mississippi.
Yeah.
So I don't really blame them for too much of their harshness. They're just kind of like dealing with it the same way that we were, like all just kind of dealing with it together.
Yeah. That
So-
makes sense.
Yeah. Christmas in India.
Yes.
One day, my parents are like, there's going to be a parade. I'm like, great. We're on the 3rd floor of an apartment
Okay.
right in front of the church.
This is 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Okay.
And so we have a balcony. We're just going to sit in the balcony and watch this. And it is weird. There's a lot of Santa Clauses. But these Santa Claus, the most popular Santa Claus mask is this weird cotton fabric mask that's like stuffed.
Please tell me the nose is like super long.
It's not.
Oh,
It's
dang.
not. Honestly, I'm kind of glad. Because, like, there's so many ways it could be worse,
It
and
could
thankfully
totally
it
be
wasn't. But, like, it's horrifying when you see it, because from a distance you can't tell
Yeah.
what it is. On our balcony, I was just like, okay, there's just a bunch of really, really shitty Santa Claus masks.
I should see if I can find this.
I've tried looking for pictures of these. And
No,
I'm
you're
like,
telling me it doesn't. Please, like, it does exist, right?
I mean, they exist. They're there. I don't know how easy it is to find a picture of any of these. I
Santa
am
Claus.
going to have to. You're going to have to excuse me for all these random burps and shit.
No, you're
I just
good.
ate an
I've been-
entire plate of pizza rolls before you got here, and so because I'm a child is what it is.
Is what it looks like? This?
Yeah, it's very that's
Oh my
that's
God.
it.
That's
it.
weird.
But like there are
That's
some of
weird.
them that are like
I'll try to see if I can put this in.
yeah made worse, I guess, but then more fabricy than that in the face.
With more fabric. There's some pretty regular ones. So they just do like the beard and the hat, and that's it.
Yeah,
But the mask thing, which is interesting. So
Yeah.
there's people who will do the beard, right?
Mhm.
And there's people who will actually make a whole mask for it. Because I
yeah.
don't remember that being a thing in American culture. Like, it's just you have to have a beard. That's
Yeah,
it.
you just have the
And-
beard and be jolly sized,
right?
basically.
Jolly size, yes.
And no, yeah, it's weird because like, you know, brown people apparently are just like Santa's not brown. He's white, so we gotta be white too when we're being Santa. So they put on this creepy fucking thing, and from a distance everything looks all right, and then like
You get
after the
closer,
day,
yeah.
like after the parade, we had walked somewhere. It was like me and my dad and my uncle, and we were walking back to the apartment.
Mhm.
And we pass a guy wearing one of these still. And I got to see it up close. And I felt like a scared little kid. Like I think this 2018 was how many fucking years ago now? 70 years ago?
At this point, yeah, it's about
It's like-
it's 4 years.
Okay, so I'm 24, 25 at this point, somewhere around there.
Right.
And I felt like a scared 3-year-old I thought I was going to get hurt. I thought I was in a horror movie. I was in a third world country, and there's a man in the most terrifying Santa Claus mask I've ever seen.
This one too.
Oh man,
It definitely looks weird.
The first one was the one that we saw on the street.
Oh my gosh.
When I saw it up close, it was a lot like that one.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, no, it is definitely terrifying, especially if you like in the right lighting or the wrong lighting. You could just be like, yeah, get away from me. Get away from
think
me.
hot, sweaty December night, like in a tropical rainforest climate, and it's muggy and smoggy as shit because the air is super polluted, and that's like affecting the way the like old school yellow phosphorus and tungsten bulbs are reacting, and it's just like a haze everywhere, and it's just like it's December. Why is it like this? You know?
I mean, in some aspect, it does seem kind of cool. My only interaction and understanding of India is through Top Gear when they went to go visit.
Yeah.
So like, it looks nice. It looks cool.
It's interesting because a lot of what you see. I mean, like I like Top Gear and the Grand Tour too, just because it's like. Yes. A lot of they do end up showing a lot of real stuff that happens in these places, but it's still kind of just like, let's focus on this and get on with it and show the pretty cool things around.
Right.
And India's a weird place because it's like, even when you fly into like Mumbai specifically, because I've only ever been to Hyderabad, is the only place in India I've ever been. Like Hyderabad is it's a state in the south, or it's a city in some state that I don't know the name of because I don't know Indian geography very well, and there's a lot of random states in there.
Okay.
Was 27 at one point, I think. I'm a bad Indian.
You're an American now, as far as
basically, so
I think you'll be all right.
I mean, still.
Do you have like a lot of Indian friends who are gonna watch this and be like, "Oh my God, Sagar, like you should be wrong"?
No, they won't have any idea where it is either.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, it's a mystery to most everyone. It's like, and I don't know, it's a weird kind of thing, but there's a lot of cool shit in India. It's like every other place, honestly. It's like there's a lot of cool shit, but there's also a lot of really depressing shit that's all over the place.
Right.
But India is like, it's one of those places that's so populated that all of that is kind of up to level. Like, slums are really awful to have to like see on a constant basis.
Okay.
But you don't see it like when you're flying in, everything looks nice, and the airport looks super nice too. So like there's a lot of new construction and tall buildings everywhere and stuff like that because it's so densely packed that they're building up.
Right.
And it has the illusion of like, oh, you're flying into something that's becoming like the next new big city.
Right.
And then when you get in there, most of the main paths you can kind of avoid seeing all this crazy shit. But then when you're from there, like going to go see family there or something like that, you're eventually going to pass by just all the slums and all that stuff on the side of the road. And it's just like, well, this is awful.
Right.
This is kind of like, this is like the normal part of what it's like here. So it's kind of strange.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, and it's like I said, it's like every place on the planet, really. It's like it's got its good things, it's got its bad things, and it's just what you choose to focus on when you're there. But yeah, it's hard to focus on things when you have little children running around all orphaned and shit, and you're just like, ooh, this is creepy. It's like August Rush, but like in real life. It's like, no, like when I was a little kid, there was a little girl that came up to our auto rickshaw asking for money, and my mom was like, you can't give her money.
Did she have a guitar? And was
she didn't. Like, she didn't. Otherwise, I would have definitely given her money. I would have been like, fuck it. She can play guitar. She's cooler than me. No.
Play guitar, just like it facing down, just like strumming.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I don't know my daddy, and I don't know my mommy too, but I'm real good at music.
Yeah, it's cool. Sorry, I got the pipes. No. All right.
Yeah. But she was just like, you can't give that kid money because that kid's got an adult. And I'm just like, then why is she here?
Where's the adult?
It's like, no, the adult's there to take the money and go get fucked up with it. And I'm just like, one day I'm going to be one of those adults. Not with children. No, I'm not gonna turn into Robin Williams.
Right.
That's such a
R.I.P..
weird movie.
I love that movie.
I do
Surprisingly.
too. It's just so like I watched it when it first came out, and I was like, "This movie
yeah?
is
Okay.
beautiful and heartwarming."
It made me cry.
Yeah, it's like it really did, and I was
Yeah.
just like, it touched every little part of me. It's just like, oh man, I
Right,
love
right.
music, and I love movies, and I love people caring about each other. It's
And
so
man,
cool.
Robin Williams is really mean. I have
He's
not
a
seen
fucking psychopath. Holy shit, this man has got an army of highly
kids.
gifted prodigy musician kids, and he's using them to get fucking chump street change. One of them got out and is now a world famous composer in 3 fucking days. He could be living on that. He could be the Charles Xavier of gifted musicians. Little orphan musicians.
And he doesn't have to be in a wheelchair. He can be
No,
totally
yeah, he
fine.
could just be Robin Williams running
Right.
around with his cowboy hat thing that he was wearing.
and not be like a total jerk to all these kids.
Yeah, but instead they were living like a subway tunnel.
That's a very good point. When you look back, it's like, yeah, Robin, you're terrible in that film as a character,
As a
not
character.
you as a
But
person.
he did a
but-
great job.
Oh yeah,
You know,
great job.
I
great
haven't
job.
found a Robin Williams movie that he's not great in, and I've seen Jack.
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 I forgot all about Jack. What was
Jack
again?
is this horrifying movie that was directed by Francis Ford Coppola, I think.
Okay.
The guy who did The Godfather.
Oh, okay. So it's got to be good.
Yeah, right. And it's got Robin Williams, who plays I think he's a 10-year-old boy who's got this disorder where he ages super quickly.
Oh,
So he
yeah.
looks like a 40-year-old Robin Williams. He's 10
Yeah.
years old, and he has a
Yeah, I
tutor,
remember. Yeah.
and it's Bill Cosby as his tutor.
There's a lot of jokes that we could be making, but no.
Yeah,
we're
we're
not
going to focus on the other more creepy aspect of this movie, which is that there's this strange, and it's a thing that happened in the 90s that no one talks about. Another weird thing about the 90s, there were a lot of weird fucking movies where they were like children that were grown. It started with Big, all right,
Yeah, I was
in
gonna
the
say there's
80s, in
several
like
other
late
movies,
80s.
yeah.
It started with Big. That's the one that got big.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it's Tom Hanks, and it's just like this whole child that's an adult but is actually like a fucking child having a love story with an adult
Yes.
who is the only person that knows that this adult is actually a child.
It's also weird because then you have to think, okay, is the person that they have a love interest with, are they in love with them because they're an adult, or are they in love with them because they act like a child and are legal?
You know, there's no one has an answer to these questions is the problem. It's like it's I'm not going to say it's that though. I'm going to say it's like the person knows that the person is a child.
Yeah.
They just look like an adult.
Yeah.
Because the characters still act like children. They're not
Yeah.
acting like grown-ups.
No.
It's just Robin Williams.
Yeah.
But he's 10 years old. And like even if there were an adult that had the mind of a 10-year-old,
it's also kind of weird. Like
you should
maybe-
not do that.
maybe you
That's
should-
definitely
maybe you should not do
abusing
it.
someone. Like, this is a weird thing to do. You should not be taking advantage of disabled people.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't care how cute he looks when he's playing Legos. You probably should just leave him away. Just
like-
maybe you should just not. Maybe
It's,
you should-
it's insane. I don't know. I don't know why it was happening. I don't know why Francis Ford Coppola directed this movie. He still likes it. I think it's
Yeah.
him. I gotta look it up and make sure it's him. Otherwise, I know it's someone decently, like, well liked.
well, like yeah,
Revered.
yeah. Okay.
I don't want to say revered. Revered seems like a weird term to talk about movie directors.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Just like was it Christopher Nolan? Is that his name? Not the actor.
The director, Christopher.
Director.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christopher
Okay.
Nolan,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
Okay, yeah, it is Francis Ford Coppola, and it's
Okay.
96 is when that came out.
man, you know what I was doing when I was 96?
What?
I don't know. I was born in 92, so I was 4 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I was doing. So,
I moved to America.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
It was crazy. I don't remember any of it. There's
Plane ride,
pictures.
anything.
There's a picture of me at the airport in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And I look like a frightened little immigrant boy. And that's it. It's just like I'm just standing there. I'm not yet 3, and I just look like a scared little child in a new place.
So
That's what I was doing in '96.
So, middle school, that's when everything starts to be like, yeah, we don't. Yeah, explain a little bit.
Let me tell you when everything started being.
When it hit the fan.
I know exactly the fucking second it happened. All right. Let me tell you.
That voice inflection. There's some weight behind that.
It's because it's gonna make sense in a second. So the day I was just like, okay, so nothing is ever gonna be cool again. was September 11th, 2001.
Oh no. Oh no.
3rd grade.
Oh no.
Lowood Elementary. I'm sitting in class. Our teacher runs in, turns on the TV, and they're just showing replays of both planes just running into these towers. And I'm just like, what is this? None of us have any. We're 8 years old. None of us have any idea what the hell's happening. My teacher looks scared out of her fucking mind.
Right.
That's all we know is every adult in this school looks like they are about to shit their pants. And I've never seen this many scared adults in one fucking go ever since. And it's just like, wow, something has happened.
Oh, that building's going down.
Yeah.
Wow. You look really upset by it.
It was insane to see. Like, as children, we're still like, okay, this is crazy. I've never seen someone purposefully down 2 giant fucking skyscrapers in one of the biggest cities on the planet. And like,
yeah.
But like, you're 8 years old and you don't understand what politics are or what terrorism is, especially at that point, because it's not a topic that you deal with that often.
Right.
And
like, let's all be friends.
Yeah. It's like,
share.
Yeah. And so, but like that night you sneak out and like watch the news when your parents aren't looking, that you're like trying to find out what the fuck is going on. And it's just like, okay, Islamic terrorists have done this, basically. It's like they already know what's going on really soon after. And you're just like, well, shit, because my mom's Muslim. And I'm just like, what does this mean now, though? Because everyone's mad at Muslims and like... Yeah, what's...
Yeah.
So that's when it got to a point where I actually saw it and started seeing it. And like, I mean, not when I was in the 3rd grade. I didn't start seeing people actually being racist. But like by the time I got to middle school, it was a lot of stand-up humor and stuff like that. So a lot of people catching what their parents are seeing on TV and all that shit.
And just repeating
it. And it's
without
like
any context or understanding of the context.
Yeah,
really,
like I was called Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden a lot because
flattering.
I'm brown. If you can't tell,
just
I am generally of the brown variety,
right?
And
but you didn't go to school in any type of official like cultural garb or religious garb or anything. You just kind of
I dressed like
a Reebok. And
when I was in
jeans.
middle school, I was a wannabe skate punk.
Oh, okay.
And I dressed cheaply accordingly.
So you got both ends of the stick.
Yeah,
wrong.
I was such a fucking weirdo. Yeah, and that's what got it away from the racism, I think. For the most part, was like it only lasted a small amount of time until people realized, like, you know what? I don't want any part of this. This dude is weird as shit. I don't know what's happening with this, but it's confusing. It's confusing the shit out of me. But like, yeah, it was just like, I knew it was the dumb kids, even in middle school. Like, I was smart enough to know, just like, okay, they have no idea what this is. And like, a couple of times I would call people out on it and they would stop because they had no idea that I was like, hey, this, first of all, just calling me Saddam is the laziest kind of fucking humor. Like, I know Carlos Mencia is fucking huge right now.
Yeah,
I get it. But like, fucking read a book, learn some satire.
What's a book?
You know, and it's just like, what are you gonna do? Because like you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
why most people bully other people too is because they're getting bullied and they don't have an outlet for it and shit like that. So it's like why really get into it, especially when it's like most of the people around me aren't actually doing this
Yeah, yeah.
and don't condone it either.
It's just Susie Carmichael.
Yeah,
So yeah.
exactly. That's gonna be my go-to. It's like who was your bullies? Well, they were Susie Carmichael.
Right. No, that
Oh.
makes a lot of sense, and because I remember in middle school around that time, I think even a comedian had mentioned this. They were, in a way, I can't remember how the joke went, but it was supposed to be like a uplifting, positive, light joke with some type of negative. So I'll try to do the best I can.
Okay, yeah.
So the comedian, whoever they were, I can't remember who they were, but they're like, yeah, I'm kind of, about the whole September 11th thing. Yeah, it's very upsetting, but it also gets the target off of black people's back. So
Yeah.
it was just like, it's
No.
kind of funny, but
It is-
yeah,
I mean, it's true in such a weird sense. Like, I don't know, it's such a weird thing to experience when you see like minorities that are genuinely hateful of other minority groups.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
like you see it in Mississippi a lot too, and
Really?
it makes so much sense because it's just you want to be treated well, and it's like everyone else seems like part of the problem,
yeah,
and it's also this weird thing where everyone's getting pitted against each other,
right.
and it's weird, but like it definitely helped for a while,
I think
I don't think
did.
it helped very much for black people in
No,
the
I
South.
mean it was just like a little
Like,
bit,
just
I mean,
the-
I don't know about the South, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
the South is the South, so
they stay hateful.
you will always be a little. No, I won't say.
I mean, it's just
Darky.
one of those places though where it's just like,
Yeah.
all right, there's nothing that's gonna take the heat off of you, but the heat will be on someone else for just long enough.
Someone can share the heat with
Yeah.
you, so you
That's-
won't be alone.
Exactly, and it was cool in that same sense to also just have this like, I'm going through actual shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say cool. Cool's not the word
No,
for
no,
it.
no.
I don't know. It makes me it made me not a shitty person. It helped me know how to not be a shitty person to such an extreme length that it's just like, okay, I'm glad I had that
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah.
But
Puts hair in your chest
yeah.
and tears in your
But
eyes.
I'm also Indian, so I already had a pretty hairy chest
yeah.
early on. I had a mustache when I was in like the 6th grade. It was like a little peach fuzz
there you
fucking
go.
thing, but it was thick enough
Yeah.
that you could see.
Yeah.
And I looked dumb as shit.
not a lady got you with the.
No.
Okay.
I have not once in my life have I ever been accused of anything of the such.
You were telling me that one story that. Oh, yeah, you're nice for an Indian. What was that?
The old lady at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm a good looking. Yeah.
Yeah, you're. That's,
yeah.
That's worse. That's so much
Oh
worse.
man. It's so much worse.
Huh. You're.
I mean, there's something
kinda
validating
good-looking for
about
an
it.
Indian.
Like, there's something validating about it because it kind of. But it was weird because, like, you hear something like that, and then I started thinking, like, have I been getting less racism than my uglier Indian counterparts? Like, am I actually attractive enough
Yeah.
to warrant getting less racism?
Yeah.
And also, has this been a reduced amount of racism this whole time? Because that's
you haven't been getting the
wild.
brunt of it. Yeah.
Like,
It's weird. It's funny because it's like, oh, you're kind of good for a colored man, huh?
yeah.
that's like it's the same.
Yeah,
What?
it's that like, and it's a weird, and I like to just say that like Southern racism is
Yeah.
it's such a weird thing because it's so hardcore, but it's existed for such a long time and such a like steady pace that it's evolved to be so smart,
Yeah.
and you get shit like that
Yeah.
where you're almost just like, thank you.
Should I?
It's
Yeah.
like it makes you think like, I feel like you're actually trying, like, there's a sincerity in it that makes you think, like, are you actually trying to compliment me? Like, that's a horrible way to go about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, you feel like they're actually trying.
Because they expect you to believe and understand what they think at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
you think the same thing that I think. So I can say this freely. Or they could be completely terrible people who are like, I don't care what you think. I'm going to speak my mind. You're good looking for an Indian.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
Thanks.
Of the 4 you've probably seen, man.
Yes, of the many, many Indians that you've seen in your lifespan, because we all know you go around the world and you go straight for India. That's where you want to be. You know them all. Yeah,
Right.
That's
it's
exactly
like, lady,
it.
you came to Olive Garden and ordered spaghetti and marinara sauce. This is ethnic food for you. How many minorities of any type have you ever actually
Literally
seen or talked to? You know, it's
right.
but yeah.
Literally the lady, this is Olive Garden type of.
Yeah.
This is the Olive Garden.
I don't know. It's like the only times I'd ever want to go back in time and just like be me in certain instances
Right.
are just like those kinds of instances where it's like there's so little on the line. Like, what? Oh no, I got fired from my Olive Garden job. Like, oh,
You didn't lose
know,
anything.
I can lose it on. There's a lot of things I just kind of let go. Little things though, like but
Right.
like that, where it's like if I was there now, I'd just be like.
You could have took her plate and just turned it over on her.
I would have.
And walked out.
I think I would have just started flirting really hard with her in front of her husband.
Okay. Oh, that'd be even better.
That'd be really creepy.
Yeah, because then he'd get upset, but not at you. He'd get upset at all the Indians.
Yeah.
But not all the Indians, just the good-looking
No,
ones.
he'd get upset at me too.
You too.
I'd be obnoxious.
But you know he's gonna
because I'm
remember.
not good at flirting.
But you know the only thing he's gonna remember is Indian, and not even remember your face.
No, yeah.
So yeah, he'll just blame Indians. That's just funny, because at work, right? I don't want to say their names, so I won't say their names. So the shirt that I wore, it was a daishiki. Have you seen it?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Okay, it was red and black.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I wore that, and I'm going into the office area, and one of the colleagues looks at it and is like, "Oh, well, look at you! You look real nice. Is that Indian?" And I was like, "Can you like read the room?" Like in my head, I'm like, "Yo, this is not happening right now." Like,
You should have just looked at them and been like,
I had to.
feather or dot. Right. Sometimes you get a combat shit with like even more, and I hate that because that is a Carlos Mencia joke, and it's something I use to describe myself a lot because
Feather
when
or
you
dot, yeah.
like when you tell people you're Indian in the South,
Yeah.
what kind of Indian? Because there are a lot of Native
My
Americans. in the South.
grandmother's a Chickawee or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
and Chickasaw.
sorry. Yeah, no, I'm saying Chickawee just because that's how they would say it, probably.
Yeah, I have
No,
no
you're good.
idea. Honestly, it's just Choctaw.
Yeah.
Choctaw.
Choctaw
It's
is a different
Choctaw,
one.
and now I'm gonna hate myself a little.
It's I think
I
it's
don't
Choctaw.
know.
I know I got Blackfoot in me, so
I
it's a real tribe. So
no, I know.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
like because you're black.
Yeah.
And
No, I do know some stuff. Sometimes I have read.
Oh, red.
Just
I haven't
read. It's just there's something else at the end of that. Yeah.
I was like, red what? Okay, red. Okay, got
In
it.
general.
Yeah.
Books, magazines.
Yeah. I go through the library. I look at them titles.
I spent a lot of time in the library as a kid.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. There was one across the street from our neighborhood, and it was apparently the biggest one in the state at the time.
Wow.
And yeah, I'll just go over there all the time. I liked reading a lot as a kid, and then I really got into movies, and it was a lot less work
Sure.
until I got really into movies, and now it's just as much work.
Did you ever want to be a movie producer on the side or whatever? Or
I don't think I would be a producer. I feel like it would be more writing and directing than anything else. I would love to act too, just to see if I could
Okay.
do it, but like,
There's
I
a
don't.
lot of
I feel like I just end up being one of those people. It's like, oh, I think I can act because I can do this and this, and I've done this or whatever. It's just like go into it and not have any fucking idea what I'm doing.
like I mean, I feel because Quentin Tarantino, he does pretty well as like the actor that he does when he does his little acting things for like
Yeah,
2 minutes or 3 or 4 lines.
yeah, and I think like if you can write a right part for it, I
Yeah,
would love like I would be fine with doing like directing and writing a movie and then writing myself like a fucking 1 minute, 2 minute scene,
yeah, yeah.
showing up, being some really strange thing, and then going on my way and never being back again.
Would you accept? Let's say if you start, doing movies or whatever, would you
Mm-hmm.
accept the new Indian Tarantino? Would you like think that'd be like,
Oh, that'd be awful.
yeah, okay, I thought so.
Because my movies, look, I like Quentin Tarantino, but like,
Yeah,
sorry,
go ahead.
it's the pizza rolls and the
Yeah, yeah.
carbonation.
I think
I have a horrible, horrible stomach.
what is those acid reflux pills, Gastrex, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I have so many different like things for heartburn and
yeah, yeah.
gas and random shit. I've spent my entire life eating Indian food that's made
It's actually good,
just a little
so.
too spicy,
No, I love spicy, so
and so my intestines are a wreck.
nah, man.
Uh,
They're better suited for harsh
Yeah, they're
spices.
well worn in.
There
you
we
know?
go. Like some good leather belts, shoes, jackets.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Worn in.
They're also very leathery, probably. Pretty tanned by
Right.
a lot of stuff. Let's be honest. But yeah, I would I like Tarantino. I don't
Yeah.
think any of my movies would be like Tarantino movies.
What kind of movies would you think you could kind of create?
I
Or
think
I'm sure you had an idea of like a film that you tried.
honestly,
or
if I
wanted
was ever gonna make a movie, first of all, I'd have to get my friend Ty to help me with it because
Yeah.
so he's gonna be co everything I'm doing too
Yeah.
because he's the person I know that's like he knows 3 times as much about movies and as I do. He also was way better at writing stories than I am.
What's his name?
Ty
What's his last name?
Ty McGee.
Oh, okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. No,
Just in
he's from
case.
Mississippi.
Okay, all right, just in case.
Yeah.
Lansing is a very small place, so like if I
Yeah.
hear a similar name, I'm like,
No,
it's
yeah,
a
I get
possibility.
that.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, he's from Mississippi. He lives in Tennessee, so it's a different person. But like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I would definitely just be like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna need your help with it. So
Right.
that would be the first step, and then he's got his own style with like what he like. We like the same movies. We put emphasis on different movies
Mm-hmm.
around the same. Like we'll rank movies about the same, basically.
Okay.
Like, say like his favorite sci-fi movie is Terminator 2. Mine,
Specifically two over
yeah,
one.
over one. One's a horror movie. I'll stand by it too.
Hmm.
One's a horror movie. Two's a sci-fi action movie.
Okay.
Same thing with
I can
Alien
see
and
that.
Aliens. It's like one's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
horror movie.
Yeah.
And two is a sci-fi action
Yeah.
movie. And for me, like I'm just like I'm putting Blade Runner over Terminator 2, but Terminator
yeah,
2
yeah.
is number 2 for sure for me.
Okay.
In that little like thing.
Mhm.
I mean, at that time, Terminator 2 and Blade Runner were there. My rankings for movie will change every single day, and it's like depending on what I've either just watched again or just newly watched or whatever.
Do you think the Terminator series, including Salvation and whatever else that came out, I think after
all
that,
these other things.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't been able to keep track with most of them.
all the Terminators, do you think the culmination of that world building is that better than Blade?
Then Blade.
Right, all of Blade, like the Blade universe, which is like 4 or 5 films, right?
Is Blade 4 or 5 films?
I-
Like Blade the Vampire.
Yeah.
I think that
Let's
well, there's
Google.
3. There's the 3 Wesley Snipe movies,
I thought there was more.
and they're trying to redo Blade.
Without
bring
Wesley
it-
Snipes, probably.
Yeah, without Wesley Snipes. It's
Unfortunately.
How do you say his name? Oh my god. I am not sober enough to pronounce names.
There's only 3. Wow, I thought there was
Yeah.
more. Blade 1, 2, and 3. It's Trinity. Yeah. Whose name are you looking for?
God damn it, I'm gonna butcher this. Mahershala Ali.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Now, yeah, Mahershala Ali. Yeah, I think you
yeah.
got it right.
Okay.
Director Bassam Tariq.
Yeah.
Tariq.
I
I could be saying it
I
wrong too.
love him.
Oh yeah, no,
He's
phenomenal actor.
he's so good.
Phenomenal actor.
It blows my mind, and I never thought about him as Blade. And
Oh,
the second I heard it, I was just like, that's gonna be a hard fucking core.
perfect. Sign me up.
Yeah. So we're getting more Blade. I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
Um, I I like Blade, but Blade's a very campy set of movies.
campy.
It's like it's a comic book movie.
Yes.
You know, in that it kind of goes in and out of accepting that it's a comic book movie.
I see what you're saying.
And that leads to a lot of weird shit that's going on. When it's like a lot of early comic book movies did that kind of thing too, where they were just like, we need this to be like a movie, but it's also still a comic book thing. So there's fans you gotta somehow appease and all that stuff. And it's like, and I love the Blade movies. 3's not great.
That last boss scene or whatever, they're all Matrix like.
Oh my god, it's so weird. And it's just like all the stories from the set of that where it's just like Wesley Snipes would just be stoned all the goddamn time and wouldn't come out of, and they had to CGI his eyes open for an entire scene. They used part of their CGI budget because he got pissed off at the director or one of the producers or something, and he just refused to open his eyes for an entire fucking scene. So they had to CGI his eyes open. And like it's that kind of bullshit that also makes it great.
Yeah.
But then like the first one's just a great like comic book movie kind of thing. It's hardcore enough and it's like bloody enough that you get your action fix and all that shit. And it's got the goofy comic book stuff in it, but it's not over the top. 2 comes out and it's Guillermo del Toro, so it's just off the walls with how insanely creepy it is.
Yeah.
There's a weird fucking face hugger vampire jaws.
Is that the one where the that fat vampire was also?
I think
was
so.
It introduced? Because I didn't understand, like, okay, how do you be a vampire and be that grotesquely fat?
Well, if you watch True Blood,
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, well, if you watch True Blood, what they establish is that you retain the same body shape that you are in when you were turned.
Okay.
So
if you're fat when you're turned, you stay fat
you
forever.
just stay like that forever.
That's actually kind of nice, though. Because you weren't fat before. I mean, I can't be any...
I mean, it's not great because you can't eat food or drink or anything, so you can't enjoy not gaining weight or whatever. You're just sustaining what is there, basically.
Why would you enjoy... I guess, maybe if you're like a bodybuilder, you would enjoy gaining weight. But other than that, I feel like if you're not
there's some weirdos out there. there's... there are people out there that have sexualized gaining weight.
Like my dinner rolls, several of them, packets, all of them.
I wear loose clothes, so I don't have to worry about it. I constantly look like I'm drowning in my clothes, like a child with older siblings, and I'm not.
With the 3XL hoodies and
these aren't even 3XLs; they're just fucking mediums. I don't have to buy too big.
Yeah, I was just wondering what your thoughts were on Blade, because I always thought, in my mind, I feel like I can have more fun watching Blade than I can have fun watching Terminator.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Terminator movies, there were only... there are so many parts of the other ones that came out that are really cool and really good and all that stuff. Like, Terminator Salvation has Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Right in the fucking lead doing his crazy shit, and it has so many good parts to it, and it just gets all fucking wonky at the end and falls apart, and you're just like, what happened to this movie? Why did you make it and then just let this happen to it? I don't understand whose fucking fault this is, but like that's the one we got the Christian Bale tirade from that was like all famous, and I'm just like, so that one's good, but like realistically it's just the first 2 movies that are good, and they're completely different styles of movies.
My favorite scene in Salvation was the minefield I was like, oh, and was the dude died, right? One of the guys died, probably.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
he like stepped on a mine and blew up, and I was like,
Yeah.
ha, it's like the movie. You don't know where you're gonna be stepping at in this movie, and you're gonna get blown up. It's not what you wanted.
It's not. It's like, and it was just like I don't understand because there were parts of it where I was genuinely just like, sad. This is great. Like, there's just random scenes in it. Like the first scene where what's his fucking face? Avatar boy.
Avatar. Which Avatar?
The main guy from Avatar,
The
James Cameron Avatar.
Yeah, the 3D one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The main guy from that, he plays the like human android dude who escapes from the thing, and it's like
Okay.
actually an android or whatever, but
Right,
like
right.
he thinks he's a person, and he finds young Kyle Reese. It's
Mm.
Anton Yelchin. And it's just like the fuck, that whole scene's insane because they're just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
getting through all that, and like it's so good, and then you're just thrown, you just have shit thrown on you for a couple of minutes after
whole
that,
time.
and you're just like, why did you get like one person to direct like parts of the movie and like another person to direct other parts of the movie?
That's probably what it was done. Sometimes I hear that. Not sometimes I hear, but like what I've heard in the past, just like reading, was that if companies get a hold of a property, right, and all they want to do is make a cash grab out of it, they don't care what it's supposed to be. They won't greenlight a lot of things into it that probably made the story a whole lot better. For the sake of, we just want to make as much money as we can, so throw this whatever together and call it good.
Let me tell you about the greatest success story of that shit ever happened.
All right.
Oh my god, it's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
Yeah, that
Okay.
was apparently like a fucking nightmare because there's all this shit about Bryan Singer coming out,
okay.
like about him being involved in this whole Kevin Spacey bullshit and stuff like that. And
Oh,
so
man.
it's like it traded like producers and directors and writers
what's
and all
gonna
this shit.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all basically waterproof garbage furniture.
Oh,
anyway.
that's good.
So,
I seen
yeah.
it. I just wiped it. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gone. All right.
I didn't realize it was that waterproof, but that's
It's really good.
I'm probably coming home so covered in PFAS that it's coating like my entire like living room set. It's coated in basically like a Teflon pan.
Your insides are just, none of the cells are sticking together. It's
None
all
of the
just,
food's getting digested. It's just running straight fucking through me whole.
maybe that's
Yeah.
your problem with the pizza rolls. It's not the pizza rolls themselves.
No, yeah.
Or the hot sauce or the hot spice you've had before. It's the PFAS.
I've inhaled a lot of chemicals at this point. Let's just be honest. There's a lot
Same
wrong
here.
at this. There's no telling what's gonna happen. I've accepted it. I don't really care anymore. Just like I'm just gonna keep going, and one day it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen. But
Suffering from
You know.
PFAS exposure. I'm just
Yeah.
making a mess of myself. Jesus. Do I need a bib? I feel like I need a bib. That's what I
I-
need right now.
I want a bib. I would like a bib.
You want an
I want
adult
to go.
bib?
I want an adult bib. I want to go to a barbecue restaurant that forces me to have a rib.
I'm sorry.
bib.
What?
Like, imagine like you know those like crawfish restaurants and seafood restaurants where you like
Haven't
show
been.
up and they
Haven't been.
no.
Nah.
Okay, so I've never been to one. I've seen them. I know the idea of them. You sit down at this table.
Okay.
It's like a big family event, basically, kind of thing.
So it's not like an eating contest. Or
No,
whatever.
no.
It's just
But it's presented like one.
okay.
Yeah,
And you get
where
an
it's
adult
like you
bib.
get a table with just paper lining it, and they give you a little fucking plastic bib, and then they just pour like 200 pounds of fucking like boiled crab and lobster and like just all kinds of shellfish and shit. And
Not
you
gonna
just
lie.
sit there and fucking grab it and eat at it until you can't eat anymore.
Crawfish does sound good right now. I haven't had crawfish or crayfish, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
I go with crawfish.
I go with crawfish.
Yeah,
I've always known it as
it's-
crawfish.
Yeah, it's always just
I'm
been
pretty sure
crawfish.
it's spelled crayfish though. But
If you're Canadian, it's probably. I have no respect for Canadians.
does anybody? I don't think anyone has ever gave a Canadian
Fucking just been
respect.
sitting up there for such a long time. Just make your move already, you sons of bitches. I see you waiting for us to crumble.
Canada and Mexico just waiting for America to just implode on the inside.
Mexico's helping America implode because we tried so hard to implode them. They're just like, haha, fuck you and your CIA. Take some more cartel shit, you dumb pieces of... Okay,
they send a letter in. Remember the Alamo?
Have you ever seen the Alamo? Have you ever been to San Antonio?
No, actually, I've never been there.
Good. Don't go to Texas. It's a shithole.
I've been to Texas twice.
This is a shithole, isn't it?
No, actually, I've had good times in both.
Where were you, though?
So I was in Van Alstyne one time, and then the second time I was in Austin. So I guess both of those places would be the most safest places in Texas.
That's what I hear. Like, Austin sounds nice. Austin sounded nice, and like it was pre-pandemic that I'm like Texas. There were parts that you could be like, okay, I could go to Austin.
Yeah.
But now it's just like they're burning books down there again, and I'm just like,
yeah, and in Tennessee,
yeah.
It's so weird. Okay, so I did even my own research on it, right?
Okay, yeah.
The whole book burning thing, what goes, at least with maybe I've read just a little bit, and I could be wrong. And anyone's more than welcome to correct me. I'm
yes,
totally
also,
fine.
yeah. I just before you say anything else, really quick, I want to add
go
the
ahead.
disclaimer. None of what I'm saying could be true.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm not just making shit up.
I was like, so your name's not Sagar.
Yeah,
Got it.
But like, any of the statistics
This actually is not my own.
I don't know who lives here. They'll be back at some point. I saw a car leave the parking lot. I took my chance. But no, it's like if I've presented statistics,
Right.
check the numbers because I honestly probably just made up those numbers on the fly because I'm just trying to keep a conversation going, and I can't be bothered to remember things.
That's fine.
My memory has been ruined by cell phones and the internet.
Yeah, I think the internet has
Fast media has killed my brain cells. I can't focus. It's not the mental disorders that have been undiagnosed.
From Susie Carmichael. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the past traumas, who cares?
Yeah.
But don't I am not a historian. I don't know if any of these things are actually happening that I'm talking about. Like, the Carthage thing is probably kind of true, what I said.
No, you're right. It was
it's mostly true.
Google said it was the Punic War or something between Rome and
Punic?
It was probably that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
It's like they're like the Crusades. I think there's like
something like
several of them.
Yeah, it lasted for some good years. Like, they said a number, and then another number was a lot bigger than the other first number.
Yeah.
Usually that's how it goes.
Well, it's just like, yeah, it's a weird thing that there's just like these countries fighting Rome, and then all of a sudden, or like, I guess Greece, and then all of a sudden Alexander comes through. It's like, 4 Punic Wars is enough. I'm going to fucking kill all of you.
Liberate.
He did not liberate. There was no intention of liberating. None of the history books have ever said liberate once. Every single person agrees. This one you can quote me on. Alexander the Great did not liberate Carthage. He came in and went, "Hey, you done fucked up 4 times too many, and now you're not going to exist anymore. I'm wiping you off the face of the planet."
He brought freedom to the Carthaginians.
I mean,
in the shape of a bald eagle with a
presumptuous nuke in one hand and an AR-15 shooting out of his ass,
ready to fell 30 to 50 hogs at any one point in time in his life in 15 seconds.
That eagle doesn't lay eggs; it lays hand grenades.
It's hand grenades, and it carries with it the spirit of vengeance and righteous freedoms.
It doesn't have blood running through its veins. It's got Bud Light running through its veins.
Yes.
That eagle is more American than America.
And it's bald.
It's bald like America presumes itself to be.
Yes. Now, going back.
I don't know what any of that meant.
Shoot, where was I at? Burning books.
Yes, right, burning books. Wow, that took a fucking turn.
Yeah, it took a bit. So going back to the burning books, there's a passage in the Bible, Old Testament, supposedly from the book of Jeremiah, where the guy goes up to a king, and the king he tells the he tells the king he's got on the scroll, and he's like, hey, stop worshiping wrong idols, right? And the king's like, okay, whatever. Give me your scroll. I'm gonna burn it. That's it. Kind of end of the story. That's pretty much it. And then Jeremiah goes back and he does the same thing, and he has it written down on a scroll, and he speaks the words, and the king doesn't like it, and he burns the scroll or book in this sense, which is funny because a lot of these churches who are doing that, at least the churches that are doing that, they're doing what that king did, which makes them the bad guys. Because Jeremiah was like supposed to be, Christian, and he's supposed to bring God's word to the king. So it's like weird, like you would do what the king did to a Christian versus being a Christian, like
it's almost like some of these people didn't read the
book.
I don't know words too good, but
Right.
but I'm gonna burn the shit out of them.
They make great lightning.
Someone told me
lighting.
Someone told me there was some witchcraft going on in these books
Which
about the Holocaust. Something about some evil Jewish man doing something terrible.
Right.
And I thought, no, kids shouldn't know the Jewish people exist. That's just fucked up. So I'm burning that book.
They
The
got
Diary
lasers.
of Anne Frank. Who is this witch?
Anne Frank, I heard she got lasers in the sky. And that's why she had to hide. Because they were going to get her.
It's like, it's just...
It's so bad.
It's a fucked up mindset,
It's
but
so
yeah,
bad.
it's like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really is. It's just that same. You see it a lot where, like, anytime you see religion used to do these like insane
true.
things, it's just like they're manipulating the idea that they know that most of these people following them haven't actually. They're getting their knowledge of the religion from what they've been told
Yeah.
by certain like pastors and preachers and things like that. And
Right.
that's the same for like every religion too. Is if it's being used to control and like use people basically, then yeah, there's a certain type of person they're targeting.
Right. And unfortunately, it has to be the gullible-minded individuals who, almost to no fault of them for being gullible, but it's also because like who do you blame at that point? The leader
yeah.
or the followers? Because it's
See-
like the followers are just gonna follow. They're always gonna follow,
Yeah,
and the leaders are the ones who are leading them away. But they wouldn't be leaders if they didn't have. So
okay. So I feel like this is just a weird thing to have to like relate it to. The second Borat movie that just recently
Okay.
came out.
all right,
It kind of has that entire point where it's just like people are still people regardless of what they actually believe or are told to believe or say they
Right.
believe and all that stuff. And you kind of see that in that here's this crazy fucking movie where you have fucking Borat of all goddamn people now living with two complete strangers.
I love that whole scene. It was great. Him doing exercises with a strap on. Was it? No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Was it a strap on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a strap on. Oh, he was doing exercises in the living room next to the guy on the computer.
Yeah.
It's straight thing.
And it's just like it's that there are those people that are just like all super QAnon-y and like do believe all these things that are still just genuinely good people and like
because they allowed someone who they have no clue who he was before.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay, film crew, whatever, but like, you need a place to stay because of the pandemic. Well, you can come stay at our
him
place.
Quarantine
Right.
with them
For weeks.
and they had just met him. Yeah, for weeks.
Yes.
Not only that, they helped him supposedly get his daughter back and shit like
His fake
that.
daughter.
He wrote a song with them and shit. Like it was a
Saying that-
horrible fucking.
yeah.
It was a violent song. It was not great. But they were so proud of him getting on stage and do it. Like they were more proud of the fact that this new friend they had made gets to perform this song like he wants to in this audience thing. And then like of course, I've seen like the aftermath of that fucking
Yeah,
video
yeah,
where
I
it's
seen
like
that
he's
too.
getting pelted with rocks too, and you're just like, where the fuck are they? Probably just ran. I would be like, no, I don't know what's happening, but like I can blend into this crowd all of a sudden. But like, it's just one of those things where it's like, so yeah, you have the people that are like gullible, and that's it. They're
Yeah.
just so gullible that they don't know any better, and like, can you blame 'em? I don't know. I don't know. It's like
Right.
it depends on when you ask me, I guess. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
did I get cut off in traffic today? Fucking blame them. It's their goddamn fault. If I had a good day, I'm gonna be like, no, you know, who's to
Fair,
say it's
fair.
their fault for being manipulated? And it's like when you do that, I guess you get so many points of view from either side that you're
Right,
just
right.
kind of like, I can't make a decision on that. I just
Right.
know that the problem isn't them to begin with. It's the fact that there are people manipulating people who are gullible enough
Yeah.
to be manipulated, and they're using them to do kind of horrible things
Right.
to actually really horrible fucking things.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah,
Yeah,
there
it's
are bigger problems than like, do you blame the dumb people who fell for it?
is since the last time you went back to India was 2018. Do you know of their like is America's situation, or is it there's similar aspects of that in India?
Yeah, well, India, especially during the Trump administration, India's got like a crazy. They've got their own conservative
Okay.
prime minister. I think that's what they have. I assume. I
All
don't
right.
give a shit. It's just like Indian politics are so weird because there's so many politicians controlling so many little things all the way up to bigger levels,
Uh-huh.
and there are just like street elections going on constantly and shit like that. It's just as disorganized as you almost imagine it being to some
Okay.
extent. And then when it gets to the
So you
higher
said
up,
there's voter fraud? No, no, I'm kidding.
I mean, who knows? Who know? I honestly,
I just got flagged by YouTube. No.
oh man, if my language isn't gonna flag this
Right,
somehow
no.
or the other, it's like,
It's something.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's their guy now is this crazy. He's just like a pro Hindu stance guy,
Hmm.
and it's just not a good thing to be. It's just like it's very supremacist in its ideas. It's just like only Hindu like Hindi people should be Hindi people. Only people who are Hindus should
Yeah.
be in India.
Really?
And it's this dumb idea that has existed for, centuries, and
Right. How do you
was
prove that too? Like that's
well, I mean, it's like you just are you're not going to say you're not Muslim just to get to be in India or anything like that. There's
right.
like it's a huge population in India. Like
Yeah.
there's a huge Hindu population. There's almost as big a Muslim population, and it's really this argument I feel like that's kind of caused up by the whole creation of the India Pakistan thing,
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
and it created a lot of tension.
Yeah.
And it's kind of this idea. It's like send all the Muslims just into Pakistan where they belong and all that stuff. And it's just and again, I have a Hindu dad and a Muslim mother.
Really?
So yeah,
Okay.
it's a very
Interesting.
strange.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. It's strange, and it's just like, so I'm just like, nah, I don't. Why would you want this? Like, why would you, like, day to day life? None of that matters,
Yeah.
and everyone sees that, but also gets into these ideas really easily too, because again, you got a country with probably 1.5 billion people now at this point, and it's just like there's gonna be a lot of fucking stupid people that are really easy to manipulate, especially when the education system's so shitty that
Fair.
there are a lot of poor orphans and uneducated children just in general.
They're not burning books though.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Oh well.
look, there's probably some book burning going on, but like
Harry Potter
you'd have
books,
to buy
get them
books,
away.
and you don't. It's like there's not a lot of book burning going on in countries where you can't afford books.
Okay, that's
it's
fair.
like there's kind of that problem too.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's weird.
No, that's interesting.
But it is kind of like for a little while it looked like India was taking notes on what America was doing during the Trump years and just not doing as many of the really dumb shit.
Okay.
but
that's good.
still trying to find a way to like use it to manipulate and get the most out of your fucking stay at the top
Yeah.
spot kind of thing. And it's just like
Yeah.
eventually, like you think eventually someone's gonna come along and just be like, okay, let's maybe get everything the fuck together and actually become the superpower that we're trying to become and all that stuff. Because now there's talks like the whole idea that India is going to be like a permanent member of the UN, or did that already happen? I don't know if it already
To be
happened
honest,
or not.
I've always thought India was part of NATO or UN, one of them.
I mean, they're part of the UN and all that stuff, but like they've never been the permanent members have veto powers in the
Okay.
Security Council and like in all the I think most of the councils,
Okay.
which means
You know more than
when
me
they're
right now.
presented a bill or like an amendment or something like that, or they're
Okay.
presented with some problem, they now have the ability to completely kill it with just their one no vote.
Oh.
So, like, say there's some situation happening in, like, the Philippines or something like that
Or
that
like-
warrants international attention.
Like a country kind of surrounding another country
Yeah,
on the
something like
borders.
that. Or, like, a
Not speaking
group
on,
from
like-
like an extremist group from one country surrounding another group from another country. Something
Yeah.
like that. And it's like, do you send in UN forces, things like that? Like, if it's a Security Council issue, something. And that you can present your case and all that stuff and say you have a permanent power. And it, like, for a long time, like, I did model Security Council shit in
Really?
high school.
Okay.
And so, like, I only really know my experience from that. And at that point, it was P5s. So it was the US, Russia, France, the UK, and China.
Okay.
And they were the P5s. They had the veto power. If you want it to be one of those countries.
Yeah.
Because if you get to be one of those countries, you get to go around swinging your big dick around going, hey, I get to say no to any of this, so you basically have to appease me.
I think that's what Teddy Roosevelt had said, is that
Yeah, yeah.
you win those with the
Yes.
biggest dick gets to do whatever.
Yeah, you got a big dick. You do whatever the fuck
Pretty
you
sure he
want in
said
America.
Dick or stick, one of the two. So same difference.
Teddy Roosevelt meant both with whatever he said.
Waved them both heavily as much as he could.
Teddy Roosevelt has probably murdered some people with his dick. I mean,
Hey, don't you speak about Teddy like that.
he was somewhat of a progressive man for his time, but let's not get it wrong. That man would murder other people. He's a violent human being.
I once tried to create a conspiracy theory, right? So, yeah, that's how the conversation starts.
Yeah.
So, I once tried to create a conspiracy theory linking Teddy Roosevelt and capturing Native American lands, and then through his college secret whatever thing, because he was like part of like some secret society, but like not a very known secret society.
Yeah, just some random fucking...
Yeah.
One of those old school
One of
fucking...
them.
Yeah.
One of them. So, but through them, and then those parks were then made into underground bunkers for military, right? Like that's how it was. And now we have like underground bunkers and whatnot under Native American sites and whatnot. It was something weird and crazy like that. Only come to find out. Only come to find out that America has taken parks that obviously used to be Native American lands, many of them, and they've used them for actually training for troops and stuff. So I was like, huh, this conspiracy stuff is easy.
Yeah, it really is. All you gotta do is literally make anything up and realize that it's probably happened.
There's a
and it
slight
did.
bit truth. Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's like, America's really good at it. They're really good at doing such insane fucking things that you
Yes.
can really fucking reach deep into your
Really.
imagination and yank hard, and it's still just like, no. You're almost right, but the truth is so much weirder than you think it is. Like
Yeah.
I'm almost certain that JFK was killed by like 9 people at the same fucking time or some shit like
All of
that.
them shot at once, and
yeah.
it's cleared his head
Not,
off.
not a single one of them was in the grassy knoll. Every single one of them was in the book depository. They took the shot at the same time. Lee Harvey Oswald was one of them. JFK's mother was another
There's
one
like
of them.
8 other Lee Harvey Oswalds.
Yeah, George Bush Sr. was one of them.
No, wait. He didn't die because he's supposed to come back. They're still waiting for him
No,
to come
that's
back.
JFK Jr. That's coming
Oh,
back. Yeah.
okay. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah. No, JFK's he ain't coming back to save no one. No, he's not saving anyone. He's not coming back to help
He's not
Trump.
coming back.
Nah, he was a Democrat.
Oh man, I hate to cut this now.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But I'm actually an hour and 22 in.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Yeah, we talked for a bit about
Yeah.
anything and everything and nothing all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining for another wonderful podcast. Yes, I'm trying to start this back up. And my first person of 2022. Sagar, send your last name one more time.
And Sagar Duvvuri.
Sagar Duvvuri. We work together at a company in Lansing here. I just don't need to say names. It's fine. We're just gonna call it like that.
It's just a place.
It's just
in
a place.
time.
Yep.
That's about it.
Where what is it? How's that song go? Cheers. What does it go? This place where
everyone knows your name.
Yeah, everyone knows your name. Yeah. I'm not gonna play that.
That's probably expensive.
Yo, that's why I was like, I'm not gonna play that. Everyone
most music's expensive these days, except for like shit. Nah, I don't know. Even shitty music's expensive.
Right, all of it's expensive.
I don't know how the internet works. Let's
be
honest.
When you have a failing podcast and you don't generate enough money, this is why. And so, anyways. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully your day is going well. My day is going good. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. There's no other. No, that's it. You can't say goodbye in the morning.
Be excellent to each other.
Oh yes, there we go. I usually end it with peace, love, and prosperity. Yeah. There we go. I forgot a lot. All right, so
no, it happens. It's been months.
It's been a half a year. So, anyways, thank you for joining. Please make sure you share, you like, you subscribe, you smash whatever bell notification icon so you can get up to date notifications of when I'll be uploading again. And if you know anybody who has a story to tell or just wants to talk, let's do it. I'm totally down to do it. Anyways, bye.